Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of B2B Blueprint. My name is Matthew Doyle, and I'm a content producer here at Directive. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of functional content. Functional content is a strategic approach to content creation that you can use to drive results for your business. It's about crafting scalable, consistent content with clear CTAs that guide customers towards your product. Joining us today is one of our top SEO strategists, Ashlee Sinnott, who is an expert in functional content. Ashlee is going to walk us through the what, the how, and the why behind this powerful content strategy. Hi, Ashlee.
Hi, Matt. Happy to be here on B2B Blueprint today, and I'm looking forward to discussing all things functional content.
Us too. We are super excited to have you here. So let's jump right in. Can you tell us a little bit about what functional content is?
Absolutely. So, functional content is really the bridge that connects informational intent to commercial intent. So, these functional content types, whether that's templates, checklists, worksheets, are really mapped to our ideal customers' jobs to be done and their search needs. So, which in turn leads to high converting call to downloads, which you alluded to earlier. Essentially, this functional content is really the gap between what your customers are looking for, that informational intent, and what your business can offer them, more of that commercial intent. So it's all about creating content that's so valuable that users are happy to share their contact information in exchange. So if you think about it, it's really a win-win. Users get the information that they need to move their project or their task forward, and businesses get a potential customer who really just experience the power of their business's product or service firsthand. Like I mentioned earlier, it can come in all different types of content, whether that's bite-sized checklists or in-depth guides, but it always has the same goal, which is to provide practical solutions and insights that really make their ideal customer personas their life easier on a day-to-day.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what impact functional content has on businesses and what it helps them achieve?
Yeah, so the impact that content has, really from a business standpoint, most people look at it and think of it as a way to collect more contact information and to really build a business's pipeline, which is very important. And at the end of the day, that's our number one goal. But also, it really helps boost brand awareness for companies. So, when companies are creating content that is genuinely helpful to their ICP and to users, users are more likely to share it online. So, just like I have, and I'm sure you have too, whenever we find a piece of content that we like, I'm more apt to sharing that piece of content online to help other people who may be looking for similar solutions or having the same pain points as me. So, by having your ICP or any users that find this piece of content and they're sharing that online, it also gives you the opportunity to really expand your reach and really attract new potential customers who are really actively searching for these same solutions. So, again, you're building your brand awareness, but also by having your content be helpful to users, you're also really showcasing your expertise by really addressing these pain points head on. So this functional content really helps users see the value in the products and services that you're offering, which can lead to those increased qualified leads and customers that all businesses are looking for.
Absolutely, yeah. What business couldn't use more increased leads and more customers? Take us through a bit about what are the steps to develop functional content.
Yeah, so when it comes to developing functional content, it obviously depends on what your goals are for this type of content and kind of internal processes that you may have. But essentially, the number one thing that you need to do is really understand who your ICP is. So, what are their pain points? What are their needs? What are their jobs to be done on a daily basis? And that's going to be the number one thing that drives this content creation. Because if we're not aligned with who our ICP is, users won't engage with this content as well. So after you get a clear understanding of who your ICP is, you can start to do some keyword research from there. So what opportunities are available from a keyword perspective? And then from there, you can look at what is the potential impact of targeting some of these specific keywords. And that can really help you identify what priorities you have from a keyword targeting perspective, and really making sure that these keywords are aligned with the jobs to be done and needs of our ICP. So some companies may need some additional buy-in when it comes to strategies like these, because we know it can take a lot of resources sometimes to get up and running. But what you can do from that is look at the search volume from these keywords, from your keyword research, look at the potential to rank for these. So realistically, where do we think we can rank based on looking at the existing search engine result page? What types of companies are coming up? Looking at your domain authority and the competition of some of these keywords. And then you can look at, like I said, the search volume, look at realistic click-through rates from the SERP and where we think we'll be ranking, and then looking at existing conversion rates to really calculate what that may look like from a conversion standpoint and kind of how this is going to impact your bottom line. So after that, you can do a SERP analysis and really look to see what type of content is performing well in the SERPs, what are competitors doing. We don't always need to start from scratch. We can kind of take a couple different elements that we like from top performing pages already and just make that user experience a little bit better. And then you'll create that piece of content.
That sounds fantastic. So, what are the key aspects of functional content that you should always include no matter what if you want to effectively drive growth?
I'd say the number one thing in order to drive growth, there are a handful of key aspects that I would include, but the number one thing is to deliver value up front. So, an example of this, Workable has some great tools that they have that I think really kind of highlight some of these key aspects that I want to walk through. But like I said, the number one being is to deliver value before. So today I'm using Workable. They have a great kind of library of pieces of functional content. And so this one specifically that kind of showcases the value, I think was a great example. So this is one of their tools and it creates a job description and interview questions for free. So while this isn't like a guide or a checklist, this is an actual tool. But you type in, say the job that you want to create a job description for, and then an industry, and you can click generate. It'll pull up and say it's generating. And then you get this page here, which they offer you the job description, the interview kit here. You're able to copy the interview kit, but if you want to edit the interview, they drive you to log in to their platform or their free trial. And then in order to get the candidate interviews, you have to also log in to their free trial. So in the beginning, they're giving you value. They gave you the output of that job description, responsibilities. They're giving you some value. So you're like, wow, this is really cool. I love how this piece of content works. I either want to edit it or again, if you want more of it, then they're really driving you to that next step to go into their platform further, which I think is a great example of delivering the value first. So again, delivering that value up front. I'd say second is making sure that the content really addresses a specific need. So like I said earlier, really understanding your ICP, what their jobs to be done are, what their pain points are, so that your content can really focus on a single problem and really aim to solve that problem. So and I guess third to that is also your content should provide an actionable solution. So whether that's offering practical steps, instructions, or resources that users can use, making sure those are really prevalent on the page. So let's pull up this example here. So for this one specifically, if you scroll to the top, you have 18 policies every organization should have, plus templates. So kind of at the top section here in this content, they're really kind of talking about the specific need that they're addressing in that pain point. And then as you scroll on the page, you kind of have these actionable solutions. So they're providing templates for each of these different policies. So if you click to this code of conduct policy, you get this page here, which as you scroll from the top, you have these CTAs that are sticky on the page. So you're able to download these kind of the template at any time. But also, this is why I talk about it's important that you understand the goals. So for this one specifically, they're not making you give your contact information to download this doc. So you can click on it, you get that automatically, and it opens up into a text file for you. but they have more bottom of funnel CTAs. So for their business goals, it might not be collecting these email addresses. They want people that are more interested in their actual solution that they're offering, more leads that are ready to potentially make a purchase decision. So then they have a try it now CTA. And then when you scroll to the very bottom, these sticky CTAs kind of go away, and then they're driving users to their free trial. So ultimately, it really depends on what your business goals are for how you want to optimize your page, but essentially make sure that, like I said earlier, that your page is specifically addressing the need and then providing an actionable solution. And then I'd say kind of for a fourth thing is really making sure that you're calling users to an action. So like I just talked about earlier, whether this may not be their number one CTA, since I'd say this doesn't really stand out on the page as much, but this is kind of that value driven component that led users to this page. But at the end of the day, we really are trying to drive users to more of our bottom of funnel pages, or really drive them into the free trial to collect email addresses that way. So again, just making sure you have that clear call to action. So I'd say those are my probably four top ways or key aspects that you should make sure that you always include in this type of content.
That wraps things up for part one of the show. Check out part two of this episode, where we continue the discussion with Ashlee and dive even deeper into this strategy. See you in part two.